नमस्कार बच्चों. So as you all know that in these days we are going to discuss about the first chapter of your history class 10th, nationalism in India. Now today we are going to start our next topic. The name of the topic, this topic belongs to topic 2. It's a part of topic 2 2.2. What did liberal nationalism stands for? This one is our next topic. Now we are going to discuss about that. What did liberal nationalism stands for? So first of all, I want to tell you one thing, that it is very important to know about the meaning of the words. What did liberal nationalism? We already know about what is the meaning of nationalism. It is a feeling of pride and love towards our nation. Then what is the meaning of liberal? Liberal means liberty, that something is free. And in the during this period or during 18th or 19th century in European continent, we already know about that all the all the regions are ruled by any empire, like big empire were there, Ottoman Empire, Habsburg Empire. There were like so many empires exist in European continent and they ruled over it. Next, in this topic we are going to discuss about that how liberal ideology affect that region. So first of all, now come to the point. Idea of national unity in early 19th century spread over entire European continent. Early 19th century, it means early 1801 to 1850, 1801 to 1850, the ideology of national unity spread all over the entire continent of the European. People were aware about that national unity. Now they try to understand who they were, where they came from, in which area or regions they belongs. Now they think about it. So national unity start to begins from there. So first of all, the entire people or entire European continents, this ideology national unity early 19th century spread all over the entire continent. Next, this idea also allied to the ideology of liberalism. When people were aware about the national unity, so a idea was attached with the ideology named liberalism. So what is liberalism? Liberalism derived from a Latin word liber, which means free. That now people were under monarchs during that time. They follow all those rules and instruction which is made by the monarch. So next, liberalism derived from Latin words liber, which means free. Idea of liberalism for the people. So those who exist in that time during European society, they took the meaning of this liberalism as per their norms, as per their conveniences. So first of all, for the idea of liberalism for the people, for middle class people, this idea stands for freedom for individual. That it means everyone get freedom, everyone free for from in their own region or area. Now take an example of India. Now we get right to freedom. We have right to freedom in our country. So what we have to follow some specific rules which made by our government. Otherwise we are free to do anything else. We have some restrictions, but we are completely free. So that according to the middle class people, this idea stands for freedom of individual. Next, equality before law. As per middle class, what they thought about this idea of liberalism, they took the meaning of this liberalism that all the people are equal before law. Equality before law. That it means in front of the law and order, all the people of that region are equal. Next, in the French Revolution, take an example how the what the meaning of liberalism stand in French Revolution. So in France, end of the autocracy, that means they abolished monarchy in France and clerical privileges. It means those who get privileges from their birth. It means a clerk son to become the clerk, next clerk after him, uske baad next clerk wo banega. That was like end of the autocracy and privileges or clerical privileges. Now equality before law did not necessarily stand for the universal suffrages, but in France, how they took the meaning of this liberalism, here is a little bit tricky here. How equality before law did not necessarily stand for universal suffrages. Here you have to give a word universal suffrages, which means Universal suffrage, sometimes this question stands for 1 marks in CBSE. What does it means? Universal suffrage means right to vote, right to choose any person. But this liberalism stands not equal to each and every person. So during that time, for example, take an example of French Revolution. So when the French Revolution took place in 1789, after that, those people who owning big lands, those people who owning property have right to cast their vote, have right to get right to vote. उन्होंने उनको ये वोट देने का अधिकार मिला. And those who are non-propertied men and women didn't get right to vote. So that was the meaning of liberalism in France. And next, men without property not to get right to vote, and women were excluded from right to vote. बेटा अगर बात करें women's की, so each and every time they faced a lot problem in our country. हमारी कंट्री के अंदर इनको बहुत हराश किया गया, बहुत एक्सप्लॉइट, not in our only in our country but entire world. In the beginning, the condition of the women was so bad, so worse. Slowly and steadily, now they now they start to demand their rights. Every time they were excluded from the society, they didn't get any rights, and the possession of husband or her father was always on them. उनके ऊपर फादर और हस्बैंड का ही अधिकार रहा है. तो उन्होंने बहुत सारा यहाँ पे दुख झेला हुआ है, बहुत सारी कंडीशन बहुत हराश थी. देन अंडर जैकोबिन्स, हाउ दे टुक द मीनिंग ऑफ दिस जैकोबिन क्लब्स. All adults, males enjoyed suffrages during the Jacobins. You already know about that. Jacobins came to existence in 1793 in France. Mainly 1793 when they came to existence. So in that time when Jacobins formed Jacobin clubs, then when educated people and traders, businessmen, when they like to form these Jacobin clubs, so all the adults got right to, all the adults enjoyed right to vote. उन्होंने enjoy किया इस right to vote को. During Napoleonic Code, when Napoleon came to power, 1797 or 1799, he came to power to become as like not the monarch or anything else in France, but yes, he was the most powerful person in France during that time. So he again limited the suffrages. Before that, Jacobins give all the men's right to vote. Before that, we know that in the French Revolution, after French Revolution, who got right to vote? Those who किसको मिला था? Owned properties. After Jacobins, all the men enjoyed the privileges, enjoyed the suffrages, universal suffrages. Then during Napoleonic Code, he limited the suffrages. Now during his time, who got right to vote? So women's, and during Napoleonic time, women's status reduced and came to the category of minors. They did not get right to vote. Even they were the authority who possess on them, who were like a ruler or owner of the women's in during that time. Fathers and husbands were the. But slowly and steadily, those who were the non-propertied men and even the women, nearly 19th or early 20th century, now they start to demand about right to vote. Now they start to demand equal political rights. Slowly and steadily, now they discuss. Now slowly and steadily they start to revolt, start to agitate against the government. Now they talk about their rights. Now next, on the behalf of the economic sphere. Now at first we discussed about the political background of this liberalism ideology. Now we are going to start about the next topic on the behalf of the economic background of the, as per the liberalism ideology. Economic background. Those who were the trader and businessmen, how they took the meaning of this liberalism. So first of all, they thought that freedom of markets, that all the markets were open to businessmen and the traders. Next, they wanted the abolition of the state imposed restrictions on movement of goods and capital from here and there. उन्होंने क्या किया? Those who were the traders, businessmen, merchants, what they want? They want to open up all the market which were exist in entire Europe during that time. Next, merchants and traders, they want to abolish the state imposed restrictions on the movement of the goods and capital. जो भी goods and capitals का जो movement होगा वो खुले तौर पर होगा. Each and every person did that trades, did that business. No one stop them. So in 19th century, this was the strong demand of the emerged middle class. You already know what who were the part of that emerged middle class. They were the like small businessmen who to become as an entrepreneur when the industrialization came to existence. So they start to produce they started to do production, and in that case what they do, they get huge benefit and to become an entrepreneur. So there was the main demand of the new emerged new middle class. So example, German speaking people. So Napoleon administrative measures, how Napoleon took the meaning of this liberalism for himself. So there were 39 confederation states. Napoleonic administration measure. So there were 39 confederation states were existing in entire Europe. Each possessed its own currency, own way of measurement, weight and measurement. सबका अपना नाप तोल का अपना तरीका था, अपनी करेंसीज थी. तो इसको लेके 39 स्टेट्स के अंदर, इफ यू वांट टू डू ट्रेड विद एंटायर यूरोप, सो दोज वर द ट्रेडर्स एंड बिजनेसमैन, दे फेस्ड अ लॉट प्रॉब्लम. उनको बहुत प्रॉब्लम होती थी. व्हाई? बिकॉज दे क्रॉस एटलीस्ट 39 कस्टम ड्यूटीज एवरी टाइम दे पे टू देम. इट मीन्स व्हाट दे गेट, उसके बाद उनको क्या मिलेगा, व्हाट द बेनिफिट दे हैव टू बी टेकन फ्रॉम दैट ट्रेड और बिजनेस. उनको क्या मिलने वाला, नथिंग एट ऑल. दे वर नॉट वेरी अनहैप्पी विद दैट सिस्टम. बट Napoleon was a great leader. He was his administrative reformation was too good. अगर बात करें उनकी, so merchants and traders move from one place to another place to sell their goods. And what they faced? They faced a problem of custom duties, dues. Every time when they move from one region to another region, so they whenever they enter a new region, so they pay some money to the authority. It was difficult to do trade, and the weight and measurement also different. अगर यहाँ पे 900 1 किलो को हम 900 ग्राम बोल रहे हैं, तो वहाँ पे दूसरी जगह हो सकता है कि 1100 ग्राम को 1 किलो बोल रहे हैं, 1500 ग्राम को 1 किलो बोल रहे हैं. सो इट इज़ वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू डू ट्रेड ड्यूरिंग दैट टाइम. सो नाउ मर्चेंट्स और traders move from one region to another region to sell their products, goods. Here you have to give an example of Habsburg to Nuremberg. So 1833 they had passes 11 custom duties and barriers. Each time when they enters to a new state, new regions, so they have to be pay 5% custom dues. उनको 5% custom tax उनको देना पड़ता था. So it is not easy to give each and every time huge taxes. So duties lied according to the weight and measurement of goods. Duties lied, that it means मैंने बोल रहा हूँ कि 900 ग्राम है तो 900 ग्राम के हिसाब से उसके ऊपर क्या होगा, कस्टम ड्यूटीज लगेगी. 1100 ग्राम तो 1100 ग्राम के हिसाब से लगेगी. और each and everyone have their own methods of weight and measurement. So Ellie, a word, sometimes question asked on that word. Ellie was used to measure the clothes during that time. Ellie एक word, E-double-L-E, ये जो word है यूज किया जाता था measurement of clothes की measurement के लिए. Each region had its own way of measurement. हर एक region का अपना एक own way होता था measurement का. So these conditions were viewed an obstacle in economic exchange and growth by new commercial classes. So this condition was so worse. It was not a very good condition. It looks so difficult to do trade during that time, and how the economic exchange and growth of new commercial class. It was very difficult and big obstacle, because every time they have to pay custom duties to move one to another region. So all demanded. So during that time, all the traders, merchants, businessmen, they demanded that a unified economic territory allowing the unhindered movement of goods, people and capital. Unified economic territory, that it means they try to make a unified system. Now presently 1 किलो यहाँ भी 1 किलो है, अमेरिका के अंदर भी 1 किलो होने वाला है. 10 ग्राम है 10 ग्राम यहाँ भी, वहाँ भी है 10 ग्राम. It doesn't mean that if you sell something in India, so the price price is different from one to another region, but weight is always the same and similar. Unified system, weight and measurement system, uniform weight and measurement system followed by entire world. पूरे विश्व के अंदर हम एक ही तरह करते थे, पर उस टाइम बहुत अलग अलग चीज़ें थी. So now they find out a solution. After they find out a solution, the name, what they do to unify all those systems. So in 1834, a system introduced by the help of Germany and Prussia. What they introduced is Zollverein. Zollverein was a custom union which was formed to reduce the difficulty and obstacle which was faced by the merchants and traders. So capital and goods with the help of Prussia and joined by the most German states. So through this abolished tariff barriers and reduced the number of currency. There were also huge currency were spread in the entire continent. So at least 30 type of currency were prevalent, but after that was reduced 30 to 2, 30 से 2 कर दी गई। जो अलग अलग तरह की करेंसी जैसे डॉलर हो गया, आपका पाउंड्स हो गया, रुपया हो गया, दिनार हो गया, देयर आर डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ करेंसीज वर प्रिवेलेंट इन एंटायर कॉन्टिनेंट, सो दैट द नंबर वाज रिड्यूस्ड, उस नंबर को रिड्यूस किया गया 30 to 2। समटाइम्स क्वेश्चन आस्क फ्रॉम दैट पॉइंट। जोल्बरिन 1834, एली and the currency, sometimes they will ask you question that the how much they reduced from 30 to how much, कितना उन्होंने reduce किया था currencies को। So the creation of network of railway for the mobility, so they also in entire continent they set up a network of railway का एक network set up किया गया, the growth of the people or products। So now here we complete this topic. If you have any problem, I will also provide you notes of that topic. If you have any problem, so you can call me or ask me. My number is 9459943825. Thank you.